if you throw away the stick that you used to cross, you will not help someone else to cross that journey.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Hello everyone. Today I'm talking about how do you know God's plan for your life. When I was 8 years old, I realized that God has a plan for my life. I was born into basically a single home. My stepfather was there, but my mother was the only person who really who take full responsibility of us. It was a siblings of 8 of us, and as a child, my family didn't do morning worship. We weren't Christians, but there was a cousin of mine who lived close by. He could not read. He's now deceased, and he would ask me to come over and read the Bible for him. So every morning and evening, he would call me, and I did enjoy it. And from there, I learned some Christian morals. It taught me how to be kind, how to be loving, how to be sharing, and it also teach me the commandments. So I would pray a lot from that, because I would have to pray for him and he would pray for me, and I would go out in the community and pray for people. Life was very hard. I would have to walk to school. The lunch at school was like $3 and my mother couldn't afford it. So I would have to walk back and get food and go back to school. Sometimes when I go back to school, school starts already. I owned my first pair of school shoes at the age of 12 years old, because that's the time when I was ready for secondary school, because during primary school I had to wear plastic slippers or go barefooted. Life was really hard, but that didn't stop me from knowing that God have a plan for my life, a purpose for my life. And so I trod on this path that I want to be something in life. So going on to secondary school, my shoes was very tight. The shoes that I got, I had to walk 3 miles to school. Just imagine, my parents bought me shoes, and the cost of it was $9.99, and it was small. Because I walked so much barefooted, my foot was big, and then the shoes have to fit me. Walking on the asphalt, it's like I was seeing Blinky. The shoes burning me, and I have to be so. I remember a lady said to me, "I can see that you're going through hell with that shoes." I was feeling like monkey walking on hot brick. You know that phrase? Yes. Going to school, sometimes I don't have any lunch to secondary school. So during lunch times, when they have the farm captain picking up the names for those who to get their snacks or their lunch, I would just rush off to the bathroom, because I knew I didn't have any lunch. So I just use that time and stay in the bathroom. I would sing. I would stay in there and sing, and then after the hour, I came up back as if I went for lunch. Life was really hard, but that did not stop me from knowing my purpose with God, that God has a purpose for me. Because coming from school, most times I stay by myself, and I would just talk to God. I would tell him what I want him to do for my future. Have a devotional life with God. From my experience as a child, I learned to spend time with God. Sometimes I would go out into nature and just like talking to the trees as if they understand or know what I'm saying, but it was just a relationship that was developing. And so I went to secondary school, and you know, as a poor child, I wasn't a really popular child, because sometimes when you're poor, the other children don't really want to play with you. So most of the times I am by myself, talking to the Lord, developing a relationship with him, and asking him to provide for me and to help me, because I would love to have the things, maybe we'd say luxuries that other children are having. Just they can get their books, or they can eat good lunch, or there was a bus that take us to school, and sometimes I can't take the bus because I don't have any fare. So these things, I would just sit and talk to God. And I would say to him that, Lord, when I grow up, I want you to do this for me. I don't want to stay in this state of life. Even though for me, it makes me humble. It makes me obedient, because I remember when I go to school and come back and see my mother trying to find food for us, I would take the basket. She would make basket, sell it to some people that sells in Ocharias, and I would take the basket and go and sell it to get so in order she can get money to buy food to cook dinner for us. I used to enjoy that as a child. Also, I was so sympathetic towards my mom. So most times when there are fruits, that's what I love with the country. We used to have star apple, we used to have mangoes. We don't worry. We used to have guava and plums, and those would be our food. Sometimes she would steam mango for us for dinner. And I would be happy, I would be thankful, I would be very grateful for it, because I know that's what she has. And so when I while growing up, while being a teenager, now I realized that this is not what life is all about, and I want better for my future. So I look at my environment and realize that I would want to be something more worthwhile, and I would like to help my mom. She was my main focus, and even help others too. So I left my district at about the age 18. I left and went to live in Kingston, and from there life has changed for me. What I would say is that help someone. Don't use your past and say, boy, I've been through so much I can't do for you. Just use it to help someone. Because I remember while I was in Kingston, a cousin of mine called me and she said, I need to do my exam tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last date. Can you send me the money to pay it? And I said, I didn't have the money, but I will make sure I find it, because it just reminds me when I was struggling in the country and need someone to help me. So some people look at the country and said, it reminds me so much of my past, I cannot go back there. But use your past to shape your future. You don't have to go exactly back to your born country. You can go somewhere else. If your country might bring back too much sad memories, but you can use it and go somewhere and always be a blessing to others. Make sure your life is a life that you don't forget where you're coming from, because if you throw away the stick that you used to cross, you will not help someone else to cross that journey. So be a blessing to someone by sharing, loving, being obedient, and have a relationship with God, and watch Him work out the plans for your life.